Now this is embarrassing.
Yeah, queen! Well, bitches, welcome to RT2. I bet you're surprised to hear me, but they gave me a reason to come on this episode. Darienne Lake, welcome!
Hi, that's me. I'm Darienne Lake.
Oh my God, my queen! I'm so happy. So happy.
I'm here to make you happy, Jordan. Okay,
You can call me whatever you want. I'll respond.
Okay, precious.
Thank you.
No, I feel like we have a little connection going on over there.
Show me your butthole! Sorry.
He will.
That would not be good. It got destroyed last night. Don't eat Papa John's. It ruined me.
Oh God. He supports all those horrible things and animal killings, and doesn't he do all that shit? Where he hunts, him and the Trump boys go out and they hunt game, elephants and tigers. I think that's what Papa John does. I don't know.
You know what? I think he's probably just a pedophile. Let's put him in there with the Subway guy. Pedophile. So, but thank you so much for coming on. Now, a lot of people are like, why the hell are you having a drag queen come on a theme park podcast? Well, there's a reason. We're going to hop into it right away. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, they've never even heard of Darienne Lake, the theme park, but that's where your name comes from, if we're correct. Is that correct?
Yes. When I was first put into drag, I looked like Ricky Lake from the movie Hairspray, and they were kind of trying to come up with names for me. So they were like, "Hey, Ricky Lake," and I didn't want to steal somebody else's name. And they were like, "Oh, it'd be like Darienne Lake, like the theme park, because you're 2 tons of fun and twisted steel and sex appeal." And I was like, "Well, no," but it just sort of stuck, and with my character and being fun and comical and wild and every once in a while somebody dies on top.
Oh, savage! I love it.
There's always some sort of death, food poisoning. Usually, somebody gets sick. So there's a little puking going on.
You all know the real reason I was sick now. I apologize.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I do have to ask this. Now, when is the last time you actually went to the park?
I went about 4 years ago. We do a gays day where all the gays from Buffalo and Syracuse and Rochester ascend on the park and just have a gay old time. And some of the drag queens will show up in full drag and ride the rides. And some of their wigs don't make it. They're down with the cell phones and with the sunglasses and things that fall off and prosthetic limbs. We would just have a great time. I think it's maybe it's about 5 years ago that we all did that. Darienne Lake Theme Park is between Rochester and Buffalo. For a brief time, it was owned by Six Flags. Then they changed the name to Six Flags at Darienne Lake. But then I think then they changed back. So I don't know if they're going to be changing and bought out again. I don't know.
Well, they're under lease by Six Flags again as of a few weeks ago. So they will be changing the name back as far as what we're hearing. Okay. But who knows? Six Flags is trash. Okay, Six Flags is trash.
One person's trash is another person's treasure. When we're in upstate New York, there's not that much to do. Our summers are about 2.5 weeks long. So we have to do everything that we possibly can to fit it all in.
Oh my God. I would die.
It's terrible. I grew up in Syracuse, and now I'm sad I didn't know about the gay days at Darienne Lake. But no, you get 2 weeks of good weather, and then the rest of the time you just got to be inside having sex.
Gays in public out here in Missouri, that just doesn't happen. There's a park out here called Silver Dollar City, which I'm obsessed with. And they have a church on their midway, and it has services. Okay. It's a legit church. And it's like a full-on theme park, roller coasters, everything. So I sent them an email and asked to have a big old homosexual wedding. Those motherfuckers didn't even respond to me.
Well, you know what? Just show up. Who cares? And get kicked out and then have it be a news story. And
this is where I'm such a hypocrite. I don't want to get kicked out. I love that place too much.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the thing. I mean, even gay pride, it starts with, one pissed off drag queen throwing a beer bottle, through a window. So
that's true.
You got to start. Any gay days starts with a bunch of fags getting together and being like, yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going to be out and we're not going to worry about people, looking at us cockeyed if they, if we're holding hands. Because half the time, some of us are going to the bathrooms to do a little tap on the stall with the daddies anyway.
Ugh, girl, it's been too long. I live in a college town, so I shit you not, it's just a bunch of fucking Twinkie 18-year-olds, and they all have a daddy complex, so they're like really into me because I'm this big guy with a beard, okay? And it's just frustrating because I'm sorry, I have respect for you Twinkie boys, but you can fuck off.
I was with a guy, and he's like, hey, do you want to call me daddy? And I was like, can I just call you dad, and you just say you're proud of me?
So, I'm assuming you've been a homosexual your whole life.
Yeah. Ever since the hit of lightning.
Yeah, same for me. Oh my god. Well, kind of, but it was more of a shock through like. It's not important. I think a lot of people they want to ask you about all the RuPaul's Drag Race and all of that stuff, but I'm actually more curious about more like your time before then. How'd you come out? What was that situation like for you? When did you? How old were you? All that bullshit.
Right. Well, I was living back when I first started doing drag. I was living, I think it was called Pangea back then. So we were all sort of together in one, continent before they started splitting. And, well, it really started with, there was a Halloween, and me and my high school friend, we went out to like Arlene's costume shop and bought wigs. And we were like, we're going to get drag. We were sort of testing out the waters that way. We had gone to a diner late at night, and there were drag queens that came out from their show. And my one friend, Sandra, she had on one of the wigs that we bought for Halloween. And the drag queens were looking at us, and they were like, oh my God, you guys would be so pretty in drag. And they were decided to have an after-hours party and put us in drag. And I was the prettier one. And so that
obviously.
Sort of started that. That was 1990. I was like, just out of high school. At first, it's very, boogery, and you're just doing whatever you can to sort of look like a lady, but you don't really know anything about, style or fashion or whatever. And I never really
did.
Yeah. So, I never knew any of that stuff. And, a lot of it wasn't even available. Early drag queens, nowadays you have the internet, you can find anything that your heart desires.
Oh, isn't that true? Oh, little person porn. Oh, wait a second.
I didn't know you were ready to go public with that, Slater.
Well, Listen, it started with just liking guys shorter than me, and you know what? I just take things to extreme. What can I say?
Well, there's that one male dancer from West Hollywood who's a little person, short guy, who's on the Big Brother season. So I don't know if you're into that.
I gotta say, I'm glad that drag worked better for you in the beginning than it did my one time in drag in high school when I dressed as Hannah Montana for Superstar Day, and I got pulled over on the way to school for speeding. The officer came up to my car, looked in and saw me in my dress and blonde wig, and said, never mind, and got back in his car and left.
Probably just like, he was like, got back in the squad car, his partner's like, what happened? She's being Miley.
I think I'm going to drive around dressed as Hannah Montana now. That's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
I love drag, and I've always wanted to do it, but I am like almost full-blooded Italian, okay? So there is so much hair, honey. Oh my God. So I'm basically a drag queen without the dress. I've been told that most of my life. My father was surprised when I wasn't a drag queen. So
well, you don't need to worry about the hair. I mean, any kind of style of drag is valid these days. If you want to be a bearded queen, you can be a bearded queen. If you want to look like Hannah from Montana, like some deep woods country ugly motherfucker, then you can do that. Drag is about having fun and saying fuck you to gender and doing whatever you want.
Well, I'm glad to know that I can do drag now. That sounds awesome.
You sure can, Hannah from Montana.
I would absolutely love to.
You know what we do around Thanksgiving? We pump tin. Princess best. Put your sister to the test. Put your mother to your brother. The family that lays together stays together. Family that licks together sticks together. It's gross.
See, I can't even argue with that because here I am sitting in an Alabama football shirt and hat.
Oh my God, I could never have sex with my brother. He's a horrible kisser, and that is a deal breaker.
Oh my gosh, I officially love you. I mean, I already did.
I don't blame you.
I'm just going to say, and I'm not just saying it because I literally had this conversation before the thought of actually you coming on this show even happened. I had a conversation with my friend, my hag, Alexa, about the season you were on RuPaul's Drag Race. And from the beginning, I shit you not, I was just like, that queen is representing that. I thought you were the funniest. I thought you were the most put together, and that you were who I rooted for. And I may have thrown something at my TV and broke it when you were voted off or whatever. I'm just saying, Rue's a bitch. But anyways, I love her.
I think the show worked out perfectly the way it was and the way it was all put together. I have no ill will about it at all. Would I love to do it over again? And having that knowledge of what, the way they piece things together and how you're perceived. And also, within the competition, you do get a little crazy.
Right.
And I would pack more snack.
Right.
Sure. And a lot of it, they're asking you about things. They're asking why you're frustrated with how you're doing. And, sometimes you sort of take it out on other people, thinking like, you know what, I'm going to vent. Like, whenever you vent to your friends, you don't expect that it's going to be filmed and played later. And that's where I think the trap comes in, is that you're sort of venting to somebody, thinking it's a therapy session, yet there's no privacy law. And they're like, well, this is what she said about you. And,
exactly.
So,
and that's where the ratings come.
You're pissed, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Of course.
And that's why I was kind of mad with how a lot of fans, you were portrayed as the villain of that season. And I was like, I really dislike that because you were my absolute favorite. I loved you to death on that season. I got very into. I thought that was top to bottom one of the strongest seasons, and you were the best to me.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was one of the. Adora, Bianca, Courtney. How do you not feel bad about losing to them? It's like, of course I'm going to lose to them. They're amazing people. Ben de la Creme as well. Fantastic. It's we all I could go on and on. I thought everybody from our cast was so. Everybody's different in so many different ways. But then I also noticed that like season 7, it didn't seem to have that same magic because I don't know if they were sort of thinking about our season. And anytime I threw shade, it became like, oh, this is mean and an insult. So I think for them, season 7 didn't seem very shady.
Yeah.
More mean to each other and not shady. But then again, RuPaul says that, to throw shade, you have to have sort of it comes with a level of intelligence to throw shade.
Right.
And
there's comedy and then there's just lazy comedy. And really, it kind of is in that same scheme. I like lazy comedy because I'm a lazy bitch. And so our show is just mainly dick and pussy jokes. That's what we do. And we just happen to drink and talk about roller coasters, and for some reason, people listen. I don't know why. Now, my thing is, like, I always have these questions of just like, when you watch a TV show, how real is it really? Just already talking to you, I just feel like there was a lot of like, you really didn't know how it was going to turn out until you really saw the episode. And so there may have been moments where like, I didn't know. It was not like that. Was that a lot of it?
In some cases, I stand by everything that I did and whatever, and I know that some things came out the wrong way, and some of it is, from my own frustration. But for the most part, they can't create something of nothing.
It's true,
really. But
who's gonna watch a show where a bunch of drag queens just get along the whole time? Nobody.
Not me.
Possible? I don't think it's possible, honestly.
I will say though that we actually were like, when we were getting close to the end, we're like, were we okay talking to the producers? Because we didn't have like any fights, any, sort of big confrontations. And they're like, no, you guys were fine. And we're like, okay. We had a lot of laughs. That's one thing we definitely did every single day, just having great fun and poking fun at each other. Like us straight guys can, bust in each other's balls. So we sort of had that.
Does it ever get frustrating where like people they talk to you and all they want to talk about is RuPaul's Drag Race? Does that get frustrating?
Like now? Yeah.
Right now.
I hate it. Like, people who are listening are like, no, I want to hear about roller coasters. Why am I hearing about drag? Like,
that's exactly.
No, it's fine. I don't mind talking about it. Sometimes it gets annoying when people just want to rehash the same stuff over and over again. I'm like, look, I'm not going to re-apologize for how I was or what I did. It's out there. I'm done. I said my piece, so.
I'd been on that show, everyone would have fucking hated me. I'd have been terrible.
Yeah.
I'd have been thankful for the stuff they left out. I'd have been like, oh,
yeah. For me, like, a lot of the stuff that I'm not going to rehash is like, people are like, well, I hated your clothes. You had awful looks. Like, okay, I'm not a look queen. Like, we don't all have to be look queens. We don't all have to shave our heads. We don't all have to wear wigs. We don't all have to have beards. You know, it's like, we can be whatever we want to be. It's, are you an entertainer? That's what I am.
Thank you.
And you've got 5 suitcases to bring. So all my drag does not fit in just 5 suitcases.
Right.
And so you think like, okay, this will work for this and this will work for that. But you don't know what order anything's coming. So you could be like, oh, I got this great, you know, dress for this. And then they're like, okay, next week you're going to have this challenge. You're like, fuck, I just wore that green dress and whatever. And, you know, so for me, I just, you know, I'm not going to rehash about my fashion or my looks or something, because again, growing up a chubby kid, I'm not going through fashion magazines being like, oh my god, I'm gonna wear that someday. Like, that was never applied to me. I'm like, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna entertain people, I'm gonna be a wild ride, I'm gonna be, you know, a full amusement park. I'm gonna be a, you know, the Twister.
I got dick in high school because I was funny. Not because of my six-pack.
Wow, I did not get dick in school. I was actually raised a good Catholic, and I wanted to wait to meet somebody special.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know.
Well,
Values.
to be fair, my father was a pastor, but I came out at 14 screaming in the Midwest. It was interesting.
I'm surprised to get tied to a fence and set on fire.
Oh, it's okay. They did perform an exorcism on me, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So
you must suck cocks in hell.
She does. So so are you aware, and I love this makes me so happy, that you have more Twitter followers than the park?
5 times as many.
Ooh, you gotta work on your brand, I guess.
You know what that means? More people want to go through your gates than theirs.
That, you know, that's true. And on, you know, the 3rd Saturday of the month, you can get in cheaper with a Pepsi can. I don't know. Actually, the first boy I ever messed around with had one of those dicks that you can't put your hand totally around, like a Coke can. Yeah, I probably gave him the worst blowjob of his life because I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, I just... Yeah.
Well, speaking all for the big girls out there, there's one thing we all do learn to do eventually, which is suck dick. I'm just saying I'm real good at it, okay?
Big girls know how to eat.
I'm getting better, and that's why they won't bring popsicles to work anymore.
I thought you were straight.
That don't mean I can't suck on a popsicle provocatively and make everyone around me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I always tell boys, I'm like, well, I don't know, I haven't done it in a while. I think I need some practice. And they're like, oh, you want to practice on this? You know, it's like, you know, the pickup line. I'm like, I've never seen an uncut penis. Oh, I've got one. Want to see it?
Here's a question. So after a Drag Race has aired, did your like grinder, growler, whatever you used, did it like blow the fuck up all of a sudden?
I did start getting messages and stuff where people were like, oh, hey, whatever. And I was like, no, you're not. You know, they're like, hey, I think you're really cute. I'm like, no, you don't. You know, I just, because, you know, I've had the, you know, racer chasers or even drag sniffers coming around. But then it's weird. Like, there was this one boy who was like sending pictures to all the queens.
Oh,
and
God.
I know, and was sending me pictures of his butt in like his G-strap or jockstrap underwear. And I was like, why are you sending this to me? Aren't you like 18? He's like, yeah, but you said you're a top. And I was like, just, you're 18 years old. I can only go half my age plus 7. So at the time, I was like, I can only go as young as 27. That's the formula apparently just for life.
Sorry about that. I got really into that season and I was confused. I apologize.
I know. Your ass looks really cute.
Thank you. It's gotten much hairier.
Sorry. Did my insides come out? No, just because there's grass on the field doesn't mean you can't play ball. I don't know. So then I was talking to some of the other girls. I'm like, did this person send you butt shots? Like, oh my God, he sent me full like money shots, cum shots, all that stuff. And I was like, oh. So then I typed in, I was like, so you sent Jocelyn and Adora cum shots, but you only sent me butt pics? And he's like, oh. I'm like, girl, we talked to everybody. You're busted.
Right.
So
that literally just made my week. Oh my God. Because
gross.
As odd as it sounds, you know how it is. There are all kinds of different cultures out there. So you have like, we have ours. We have our like weird little theme park group, and there's Trekkies and Star Trek people, whatever. And they're like,
do people get like sexually excited about theme parks and stuff, like sort of like furries too and stuff?
Yes.
Really?
This sounds weird, but okay. All right. This is going to sound really egotistical, but I'm going to say it anyways because I am. So people know who the fuck I am in the theme park community. Okay. That sounds really, but they do. Like they know who I am. So I have gotten laid for running a theme park podcast. That's fucked up. That should never happen, but it does. I mean, I'm thankful. Hell, a listener just sent me his fucking, and it was nice. I'm not going to lie, but he sent a dick pic just last night, and I was sending it to all the boys.
Yep.
Oh, ooh.
Jesus Christ, Ryan.
Honey, I don't do pinky dick. Oh, I mean, I love you. I'm sorry. What?
All dick needs love. So Jordan, if you're, I mean, is there more weed than weenie down there? You said you're hairy.
Yeah, I'm hairy, but I keep that area trimmed.
Oh,
My
okay.
ass is like a hedge maze, though. I gave up a while ago.
I have a nice manscaper.
I can't get my fiance to help me. She's like, I'll do the back, but lower than that. She's just
okay. Rub it in that you're engaged. Fine.
I trapped somebody into staying with me. I bought her a dog who I think I love more than her now, and that got her to just stay. So
Well, I mean, most people buy girls diamonds, but a dog works. So what kind? Like a rescue?
she's a pit mixed with some kind of bird dog because she'll point and stuff. But I love
And
her
kill
so
things.
much. No, she hasn't killed anything yet except stuffed animals.
So after Drag Race, especially, it seems like you get around quite a bit, and you have a big tour coming
Now,
up.
Ryan, are you calling her a slut?
No, I'm talking different
Oh my
cities.
God, how rude. Jesus fucking Christ, Ryan.
I'm talking
first time you
actual
spoke
mileage,
in the
not
whole
butt
episode.
mileage. So,
Yeah.
what's your favorite city that you've performed in, other than Rainland, of course, the best? But what's your actual favorite?
I love Chicago. I always have a great time at Roscoe's because they treat the queens so well, and just it's so much fun, and the guys are great. And also, there's something about Midwest boys that are just. They're so delightful to me, and I like when they have a real Chicago accent and say Chicago. And I love that they're passionate about Chicago being the best. That everything's better there. The hot dogs, all that stuff. Also San Diego, they're also a great bunch of people, and the queens are always so real. It's great to be in LA and be with some of your drag sisters and all that, and the weather, especially. I mean, when the snow starts flying in Rochester in probably like a week or so from now, it's so great to be in Southern California. Palm Springs is always so much fun. I don't know, I love it all. I mean, there's so many different places for different reasons. I was just recently in Edmonton, Canada, and I didn't realize I was going to love it so much. The people up there also very friendly, so chill, and the other queens, the local girls, are so cool about accepting somebody into their group, their family. So that's what I like.
Nice.
Oh, gee, we're so glad that you came down to Canada. Yes. Oh, yes, we are.
Oofda.
Oh, gee.
Oofda. Have you been to the mall?
Oh, my only concern is at first I thought she was just real ladies putting on a show, but then I found out that you all have like willy whackers down there, and I just don't know if Jesus agrees with that, don't you know?
Many a times people are like, "That's a woman," and they think that I'm a woman when I'm all painted because I'm very fishy. I'm very unclockable, as if they would, So that's another look that I go for sometimes.
I love that you bring up fish.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, we're theme park nerds, and so we talk about Disney. Disney's kind of our thing. You would be shocked just how gay the theme park hobby is. I mean, it's gay, okay? We were thinking, Disney right now is working. They're developing a live-action Little Mermaid film. Bitch, if you do not try to get on as Ariel, I will find you and kick your ass. Oh my God.
As Ariel?
Not as well. Okay, no, I want to see you as Ariel, bitch. But no, Ursula, bitch. I want you as Ursula because you have this Ursula look. It's oh girl. And it's this one picture that made me say it. And I think it's actually what you have on your Twitter right now.
Maybe,
when your tits look fantastic. Oh my God, and that.
As a straight man, I agree.
Muscle Daddy would motorboat it.
I just thought there's no better casting, and shame on Disney if they didn't hire you.
They should definitely get some sort of drag queen. Me, Latrice Royale, Ginger Minge. I would love to be like Ursula in Little Mermaid. I mean, she's so amazing. She was one of the greatest Disney villains ever. And it was so easy to hate her too because she's fat. So, you know, because people just love to hate fat people. And and she's also just, she plays that like, I'm going to do you a favor, that used car salesman sort of bullshit. And then she, you know, oh, there was a loophole, you know, that sort of thing. But, you know, if I was Ariel, I would definitely be like the antisocial Ariel. I'd be like, I want to be where the people aren't. I want to be left the fuck alone. You know?
Can you make that? You should like just put that on like YouTube or your YouTube or something.
Yeah.
That would be amazing, and that would go viral. Okay, everyone wants to see that.
Yeah, when it comes to like making YouTube videos, I'm the laziest person ever. I'm like, I come up with ideas, and then I'm like, oh, I just, you know, it's my day off. I don't want to get in drag and sit around and film videos.
What you do is you find someone else. I'm really good at this. You manipulate somebody else to do all of the work, then you just show up for like a couple hours, lip sync, and then you like take your shower and you're done, and you know, order a pizza or whatever. So that's what I do with all these shows. I'm like, all right, bitch, you do this, you do this, you do this. I'm gonna go jack off. So that's the day. But not you boys. You boys, I don't do that to you. How long did you say it takes you like to get ready, like for a show? If you're doing full on everything, how long does it take you?
I give myself about 2 hours, and that, you know, that includes the shower and stuff. But, you know, I don't know, it doesn't take too long because I've been doing it so much that once I have everything set out, I have everything in a row and in order and clean and ready to go. So I just throw it all together, and it doesn't take much. I mean, I'm not really great at makeup. I just am naturally really pretty. So.
Right. Perfect. Right.
Yes, you are.
You
so
actually
easy.
are very pretty. You really are. Like,
you know,
side of makeup, honey. Pretty. Okay.
I got the genetic, like, horrible metabolism, but beautiful face and structure. You know.
Every fat bitch, me included, has been told, "Oh, you have pretty eyes."
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, you know,
you'd
be so pretty if you lost weight."
Mm-hmm,
you know. And I did at one point. Like, I lost a lot of weight during the Atkins craze around the turn of the century. And, you know, it was a fucking knockout. And let me tell you, I was making money hand over fist, literally, with dicks going everywhere. Good time.
I don't get along with most skinny queens. I'm just going to be honest. Like,
I was never skinny, but, you know, I was.
Yeah, like I always tell people, I'm not a cub. I'm a chub. And there's a difference. And if you're in the community, you know the difference. Okay? Mm-hmm. There's a difference.
When you get tired of my hole, you can pick a roll. Ew, that's so gross.
There's
sorry. I can't turn it off.
8-year-olds on your back and a guy asking to titty fuck you. You're like, but I don't have tits. And they're like, yes, you do. And I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. But
the fuck are you drinking over there? What are you drinking?
I am drinking, it is a Seattle cider gin botanical hard cider. And it's delicious.
It's an upgrade from last week. He was drinking Zima.
Okay.
For real?
Yes, I was, for real. For the podcast, which, by the way, we lost completely. I don't even want to get into it. I will cry. We won't lose this. We have you, like, recording in, like, several different places. We ain't losing this episode.
Okay. Because I'm not doing it again. So.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Don't worry. But once I cast you on my TV show that I'm praying to God will help me and save my life, then you'll do whatever I want.
Oh.
He's going to make you hang out with me for a day.
I know, he sounds like every promoter. It'll be like a Make-A-Wish.
Yes. Except I'm not dying, I think.
I know. I used to work for Make-A-Wish. I had to tell all the kids they weren't getting their wish granted.
That sounds like the most depressing job I've ever heard of in my life.
For them.
True.
Well, sweetie, I know your wish was not to die, but I'm sorry.
Guess what, Billy? You might want to hang on just another year.
You know what? That should be like your audition reel for Ursula. Is telling little kids they're not going to Disney.
Yeah. Like, hon, I know you wanted to meet John Cena. I don't think it's going to be a yes this year.
How has the drag scene / gay scene evolved in the time that you've been out and doing drag? It seems like a lot has changed for the better. And have you noticed any negative changes?
This is like a job interview question.
This couldn't sound like more scripted if we tried, bitch. Like what?
I know.
I work with what I'm given.
Darienne, how do you feel like you could contribute to this company? How are you valuable to us?
I'm not. I'm going to take long breaks. I'm going to turn everybody against the head of the company, and I'm starting my own business down the road and hiring everybody.
You're hired.
Perfect. No, I feel that drag has changed leaps and bounds since, I started. When we started, we were these, outcasts and stuff, and we'd be, in your face and fuck you if you didn't like it, loud and brash. And when you see people at the bar, you could insult them, they could insult you back, you just have a great time. Or if they loved you, they would just throw their arm around you like, come here, let's, give me a hug, let me buy you a drink. And as the years have gone by, people are a lot more respectful of each other and their space. Now kids will come up and say, like, is it okay if I hug you? And like, you're asking for permission to hug me? I'm like, okay. But I guess, it's better than just getting grabbed. So many times, like, people just stuff money in your bra or under your skirt or something. Nowadays, it's like, don't be disrespectful. Don't, touch them in the wrong way because you might pull back a bloody stump. But for me, I don't care. I'm like, stuff $1 in my titties because the left one's slightly larger than the right one because that's my jerk off hand. And so, like, just even them out with dollar bills works fine with me. But also, the accessibility of things. When I first started, you had to go to this. There was this one shoe store called La Belle Grande, and you had to go in, and there was this old woman who worked there, and she carried up to size 14. And nowadays, you just go to like a Payless or online or whatever you need to do to get those large shoes.
Do you know where I could find a size 17? Because that's what I wear.
I do somewhere. I have the website at home.
Oh, okay.
Or somewhere. Yeah, I have a card, and she's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious about that because I was like, do they make anything that would fit my giant hobbit feet?
They do.
Okay.
How tall are you?
I am 6'5", right at 6'6".
Oh, so then in drag, you'd be like 6'9" and worth the climb.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to make a deal with you, Jordan. At our
What's up?
at our meetup, the next meetup that we plan, I'll do drag if you'll do drag. I will come as Minnesota mother. I'll shave this shit. I don't give a fuck. Of course, she's from Minnesota, so I don't have to shave anything. Never mind. I'm good. Let's do it.
That would work because Lydia has been wanting to do my makeup ever since we started watching RuPaul and saw how much I was into it. She's like, can I do it? I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine with that.
Do you have a drag name?
I thought, but going off of your name, I wanted to go off of my home park, which is Dollywood.
Oh my god!
Add
fantastic.
an E at the end.
I want to go to Dollywood so bad. And so right now I'm near the like Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee border. My sister bought a cabin, so I'm up in the mountains in the woods. And my brother and my dad's birthday is next week, so we're celebrating for that.
Gosh, yes.
Well, I live about 30 minutes from Dollywood, so I go there pretty often, and it's I give it a lot of shit, but it is a place that means a lot to me and that I've really loved. Now I hate it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just a needy coaster boy who wants bigger stuff, and they're not giving me what I want.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at other parks like, ooh.
When it comes to theme parks, he's a size queen for sure.
Oh, okay. You want the wind in your hair and the bugs in your teeth and all that stuff, or the gooses in your face.
Yes.
Yes, Fabio.
Fantastic.
That was God's way of saying you're too pretty.
Yeah.
Involuntary nose job.
Yeah, that's great.
So, obviously, you're now so exceptionally famous. I mean, on Cosmo, everything, so famous. If the park, Darienne Lake, was going to build a ride in your honor, what kind of ride would you want that to be?
Oh, it would definitely have to be I don't know, maybe something sort of like shady because I'm very shady. So maybe something in the dark and you don't know where you're going or where you're going to end up. Almost sort of like that Tower of Terror. So it's dark and you don't know which way you're going or what way things are going to fly at you. Maybe a couple of balls will fall at your face.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I definitely want some people to also get like electrically shocked or something, just cause a little bit of shock and awe. So,
when you go around the corner and there's an animatronic of Latrice Royale throwing biscuits at you.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
That'd be great.
and maybe something that also gets you wet.
Oh.
So yeah, like sort of a log flume roller coaster, wet, wild, and everybody comes out with gonorrhea. So yeah,
I'm in.
I don't know. No, actually, everybody leaves and you get a snack at the end. I don't know.
So do you have any specific memories and stuff of a theme park that stand out to you, or any like enjoyable or horrible times that you recall?
There was one time we were doing the gay days and we were doing all the fun stuff and decided to leave all the wet and wild stuff till the end. And so we did that. And then as we were leaving, our one friend was like, oh, we never did this Ferris wheel. I really wanted to do the Ferris wheel. I was like, okay, we can do the Ferris wheel. And then once you got to the top, it was freezing cold and we were drenched wet from the other rides. So then we were all huddled, like we were like, I don't know, just all huddling together for warmth. And that was a hideous memory. But I think like fun memories I've had, they're all fun. That's what going to amusement parks is all about, just having a great time. And like I can only remember the times that really I wanted to kill people. Is one, we were all planning on going to celebrate Pandora's poorly attended 40th birthday, and we were going to Disneyland, and we were planning out the day, and we're like, yeah, we'll go, we'll have brunch, then we'll go to the amusement park, and plan the whole day there. And so then we got to Pandora's house to pick everybody up for brunch, and two of our friends were like, no, I'm not even hungry. I mean, I guess we could just go to the park. And we're like, well, I don't know, maybe whatever. If nobody's hungry, I'm like, I'm hungry. Like, it's like, 10 o'clock. I want to eat. Let's go to brunch. Like, well, nobody really wants to go eat. And I was like, ugh. And so then Ian's boyfriend was nice enough to be like, oh, I'll make you a bagel. I'll put some peanut butter on it. I'm like, okay, fine, something. And so he gives it to me, and he put the peanut butter on a hot bagel, which then liquefied the peanut butter. So I got a peanut butter stain on my shirt. And I'm like, now I'm a fat person. And I got to go to the park with a stain on my shirt. Son of a fucking. So we get to the park, and they give us buttons, like, happy birthday, Pandora. So I put the button, but it's like underneath like a boob. So it's just like the weirdest spot to have a button. Like most people put it like on their chest or whatever. So I just had this weird position button. And so as soon as we get into the park, my friend who wasn't hungry goes, I'm really hungry. I'm like, we're going to the happiest fucking place on earth, and now you want to eat at the most expensive place on earth? I'm like, you couldn't have gone to brunch when I fucking said to go to brunch. And I was so mad. I'm like, now I got a stain on my shirt. You're hungry. I was like, no, we're not eating. None of us are hungry. They were like, why are you freaking out right now? I'm like, because you guys are assholes. That's why. Because I wanted fucking eggs and pancakes and bacon and cheese and ham and grits and all that stuff.
Mimosas.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Most important part.
Yeah. Mimosa animals, yeah. So.
Oh.
What?
When you complain about theme parks, you sound like a real like theme park enthusiast like us.
Oh my god, yeah.
All then, we do is bitch.
Well, yeah, yeah. And then, Pandora's other friend was there, and it was Jay Rodriguez from Queer Eye. Mm-hmm. And so he comes over and stuff, and we're walking, and I'm trying to like put on a nice face, even though I want to kill everybody. And then he's like, oh, churros. And I was like, what's a churro? I've never had one. He's like, you've never had a churro before? And so he's like, I'm going to go buy you a churro. So he bought me a churro. And then we were walking by, and he's like, oh, those hot dogs smell good. I'm like, what's a hot dog? I've never had one. He's like, you know what a churro is too, don't you? I'm like, I just like free food. So I'm like, I've never seen an uncut dick before. So, yeah, it works. And then the boy that he had brought to the park was afraid to ride the roller coasters. And I was like, I'll ride the roller coasters with you and I'll hold your hand. He's like, you don't need to hold my hand. I was like, okay. And he's like, you could take your hand off my dick too. I was like, it's okay. I'm helping you. So.
You know what? That's lovely. It sounds to me like you lived what we refer to as our Coaster Sutra, which yes. We have a question we ask, and we're actually working on a little like comedy book. And I think a lot of people think we're joking when I say we're working on a book, but we really are. Where what we ask is people to, if they have a favorite ride that they remember riding, how they would have sex on that ride, and what would they call the move? Like how would it work? Because it's a little precarious, and we've had some really funny answers.
Like how would I have sex on a ride?
Yeah, and do you know what ride it would be? What kind of ride?
I don't know. Well, coasters, I mean, you have to be strapped in and all that stuff, and as same with sex. But
yes.
So it's probably hard to do that. The teacups and that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't really feel like there's enough room on the rides unless, well, maybe, no, the log flume probably, yeah. Because that way, it's like, you're sort of like in running a train. You know what I'm saying, right? Like the guy in the front's getting in the butt.
Yeah, you're having an orgy on Splash Mountain, baby.
Yeah.
Right, and everybody leaves there wet, so you don't have to worry about, They actually have a ride at Darienne Lake called the Mind Eraser, so that'd be good too, because sometimes you just want to forget it afterwards. Forget everything that happened.
We are so glad you lived. Now that you've been on the show, and this is really more my own curiosity, is Rue just a message away? Is she accessible for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she's good. She's always there. It's like Beetlejuice. You say her name a few times, she's right behind you.
Oh, that's amazing. So, because that's what I always wonder. Like, I hear some people are like, oh no, she really kind of takes like this whole like drag mother kind of almost responsibility to her queens. And I was just more curious about that. It's interesting. When I was growing up, my brother, the lady he married, used to date one of the middle member, I can't remember his name, of Hanson. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Taylor Hanson.
Taylor, that's it. Whatever one of those, one of them still has to be gay and it's just in the closet, right? Like, I'm sorry.
It's like the Jonas Brothers. One of them's gay.
Hopefully Nick.
They could all be gay.
It's got to be Nick.
But even so, they spent I've never told anyone on the show, they spent the night at my house, like at the height of their fame. They were like Hanson. Like, this is like 1998, okay? And I grew up in a church, okay? So we had a parsonage, it was attached church. We had lots of room, and they were like on tour, and they came, and they stopped because they wanted to hang out with her because their families or whatever were friends or something. I don't know, from before they were famous. But they didn't have room at their house, so they all came and stayed at my house. I was such a nerd. I was like really into Marilyn Manson at the time. So I remember just rolling my eyes the whole time at it. I remember being shocked just how normal like people that were famous were. I remember I always expect them to be so different, and then you realize, oh wait, they're just people. Oh, well, that's disappointing. I love with drag queens, every drag queen that's even been semi-well known, I haven't ever felt that, because I always feel like drag queens are people plus, no matter what, because they're entertainers, like legit entertainers.
But I get what you're saying is that, drag queens were expected to be on all the time and sort of a personality that you see on TV and what have you. And we're not always that way. But like with RuPaul, she's a very professional person, gets the job done. But she's also, she wants to have a good time. And if something tickles her fancy, she's going to laugh and have a great time. But if something is wasting her time, then she's going to let everybody know it. And then she will remind you that she is the boss. It is her name on these checks that you're like, oh, straighten up and let's get in line. So
time is money. Because as someone who right now is like trying to do all kinds of stuff, it's like, I ain't got time for bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
Where do you see your drag going? Where do you see taking this? Because to me, I think, you're so talented. This is just, to me, like the beginning for what you could do.
Right. Yeah, I see myself retiring, giving it all up.
That's the goal. Yeah. No, I love entertaining, and I love going to new places and doing new things, listening to new music, and finding new spins on a performance and how I can use it differently or apply it to a different show, and I love trying new things. Like Kasha Davis and I were in Puerto Vallarta, and we workshopped a show, the two of us, called Bosom Buddies, where it's about our friendship and how she is also very similar to Bendela Cram, very optimistic, positive person, and I'm sort of like a salty, like miserable scamp that you just kind of love or love to hate or hate to love. And how our friendship, really formed and bonded and solidified, being so different, and how, she really helps me to become more optimistic, and I help her get a little more grounded and be a little more realistic with a lot of things. So we did that show, and I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I was singing and doing cabaret and all that, and I was pushing her out of her comfort zone of being shady and talking and jokes and all that. So it was a great thing to try something completely new. And so we've done that show in many different places. And now we're going to be doing it in Provincetown
in second half of August, and we're adding Pandora, so we're changing the name to Three's Company because we're old enough to remember the original show. And even though we're friends and we all come from Rochester, New York, that we're just a great group of people who work together and work so well. You think like chocolate and peanut butter. What could be better? But then you add pretzels to it, and you're like, "Oh fuck, this is
so good." Oh my god,
so true.
Praise Jesus! Oh my god, yes. I think one thing a lot of people forget, and I see this happen all the time. Someone like all of a sudden they have success, and they're suddenly the face. And I think people think like they didn't exist before, but in reality, it's just like these bitches, these people, they've been working for years at this, unless you're Adore Delano. But they've been working at this for years. They didn't just suddenly happen.
I mean, Adore Delano was on American Idol years ago, and so she had been, working into.
That's true.
And the thing is, she also, when she was younger, she was very non-binary, didn't really fit into a male or female category, and she was sort of pressured to be more, I guess, male, especially through American Idol and all that. And then, with doing drag has really helped her blossom who she really wants to be. And then going through the pageant of it all, of RuPaul's Drag Race, realizing, no, this is not exactly the drag I want to be. Like, that's where I think part of the reason why she might have left All Stars is because it's like, no, you know what? I don't want to stand up here in a gown or something. Like, I'm punk rock. I'm cool. I want to be me. I want to, do what I want to do. I want to not shave my armpits. I want to have a mustache. I want to have, I don't want to have my wigs perfectly sculpted in a finger wave. I'm fucking cool. I'm who I am. I want to do my own style. Fashions come and go, but style is who you are. So
was she made off like as bitchier than she really was in that show? Would you say?
No, I don't think so. I think she was very true to who she was. I think
she just came off as young to me. I think that's how I want to. She is young. So, she's young. She is young. I'm just. I envy all these people who've never been called a fag. I just
Their idea of awkward coming out stories is that both their parents want to have them a coming out party at the same weekend. Wow. It was so awkward.
It was so awkward.
And my stepdad wanted the same party as my dad and my stepmom.
I just don't understand. My parents are just so accepting. It's so annoying.
I know. Yeah.
It's funny. I can't tell if my mom was disappointed that I wasn't gay or not, because she asked 4 times. And I was like, Mom, I don't have a girlfriend because I'm a slut.
Oh.
This is the real reason.
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
But, I will keep eating popsicles the way I want, because that's my right.
Do you have a popsicle right there? I'm going to see.
I don't. We don't have. I don't think.
Do you have a banana? What phallic thing do you have? Go find something. When the queen asks for it, bitch, you go find it.
Let me see what I can find.
I'm into
Isn't he sexy? We love him. He's considered the official muscle daddy of RTO. He literally, we send him a plaque.
Oh, that's sweet. I haven't seen his muscle.
Do you want him to take his shirt off? We can make him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
He'll do it.
Anything.
He'll do it.
But
yeah.
Before we looked at the fruit and vegetables, and the only thing we have are bell peppers, so it would be like that first guy you fooled around with. And that's just not going to work for my mouth.
Okay. Right, she wants to see you take your shirt off, so you have to.
Okay. This happens every episode.
Every episode this happens, really?
Yeah, it does actually a lot.
All right, let me see the muscles.
Come on, stand up, bitch. Stand up and give us some flexing. Stand up and give us flexing.
I'm not giving flex. I'm just getting back in the gym. I got to get back in good shape. I'll do like.
Put your arm down.
There. Is that good?
I can't really see because whatever.
Well, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. You know what? If you'll come up to Dollywood sometime, I will take my shirt off. I will do whatever you want. If you'll go with me to the Paula Deen restaurant and do your Paula Deen bit, I will love that, because that was my favorite part of that season. And also, Cooking with Drag Queens, I'll love when you were on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will definitely do that for you.
Thank you.
100%.
Because I remember you did that.
And I'll take a stick of butter and I'll shove it in your mouth and see if you really are good at doing.
Oh, No, we don't have butter because my fiance's like she's wanting us to eat healthier and such.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
She's planning a wedding. She wants to look great for the wedding, and she already does.
Yes.
I love you, sweetheart.
This wedding is not for her. It's for you, bitch. Work that shit. Just eat the butter. Eat the butter.
For Slater, you are walking me down the aisle.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Wait, I do have to go to that wedding. Ugh. Do you want Patrice Royale to perform your wedding? She is a minister, and I do have a connection to make that happen.
Oh my god, I would love that just because of how uncomfortable all the conservatives in our family would be.
Oh my god.
Queerly beloved, we're gathered here to gay, these two homosexuals.
My grandmothers would leave.
Of course.
They're like, we are done with this, and it's not even because of the gay thing. Are we going to be racist again?
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
It's the Midwest, honey. Racism is alive and well, and it is disappointing every day.
It's a thing down here in Florida, too. Like, I'm planning a wedding, and we were looking for officiants, and one said, I'm sorry, I'm just not comfortable with this. I'm like, okay, I thought we were better than that, but next.
I'm ordained.
Oh, you have no idea. Like, you made his dick hard right there. Like, he loves you so much. Like he's scared to ask because he's like, if she's not serious, he's gonna cry. He's gonna cry. He'll pay you. He'll pay you.
I'm trying my best, but I'm fanboying a little bit. I'm trying really hard.
Not in front of your family.
Okay.
I want to. It's all about like, you getting the marriage license and all that stuff, and then the person who's ordained, they just sort of sign off on it.
What? Okay, where do you order pizza out there? Because I have my friend, her name actually, believe it or not, is Ariel. That's her real name, and she's out in New Jersey, but and she has this whole thing: New York, New Jersey pizza. It's the only real pizza to her. Like that's it. Nothing else.
I mean, it's good pizza. Yeah. There's different places that I like to order from, and also, it depends. Are you getting pizza and wings? And there's certain places that have better wings that you'll deal with their not as good pizza, and so it depends on what you want. But yeah,
I'm the type of person who, like with Chinese, I like crab ragoon here, so I order it there, and then I get the food I prefer better elsewhere. Like, when it comes to my food, this bitch isn't lazy. I'll drive around, but I'm dedicated, honey. I'm dedicated for food.
I gotta ask real quick, as far as wings go, ranch or blue cheese?
Blue cheese.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Yes. Blue cheese counteracts the hot, spicy, Frank's Red Hot so much better. Blue cheese is the way it was meant to be.
Yes, it is. I love it.
And you like it chunky, I know you do. Sorry.
We do, though. We do.
Do you ever have, like, the breaded wings as well, or no?
Oh, yeah. I love wings in general, so I'll eat them all.
Oh, okay. All right. We have this one place called Country Sweet Chicken and Ribs, and there's they have a hot sauce that is like sweet and sticky as well. Oh, it's so good. Make your mouth water. And the hot sauce is so good on your pizza as well.
I thought she was going to say your penis for a second. I was like,
I thought so too.
That's where my mind goes. Because my thing is, I start thinking about like delicious wings, and my dick gets hard. Dick gets hard, so it's not really a surprise.
No, I like the original flavor myself. There's something about it. It's a touch of that, especially straight boy penis, a touch of that musk.
Yeah, because they don't know how to take care of themselves. We have to teach them.
Well, I use Bath and Body Works soap and stuff, so everything smells. I love Bath and Body Works. Damn it!
Oh, which fragrance? Cucumber melon.
I love like anything that's vanilla. I love vanilla, to a point of concern.
Well, that's one of the things. It's like a trigger for men is the scent of vanilla. So like if you want to like get a guy all like hot and horny, you like make cookies and things. And
noted.
Siri, take note.
Yeah, or if Jordan, you want to sell a house or something.
Jordan, we're gonna get you your drag persona, and I want you to start every fucking year applying to RuPaul's Drag Race until you make it on. You'll be the first straight contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race because they would love to spin that, and I just want that to happen. It would make my life. It would make me so happy.
It'll be fun. I'm sure I've been a little bit of a disappointment to my dad most of my life. Let's go full on with it.
You need to learn to sew and use a glue gun, though, so you need to get on that shit right now.
I'm sure you're already a disappointment to your dad, so, what's really doing drag?
So this is from Jason in Paradise on Twitter, who is at Jason _ the letter N _ Paradise. Amusement
Perfect.
Park.
Now I'll be able to find him and block him.
Yo,
What?
Oh, I love Jason.
he's our biggest fan. I love him.
He's from Miami. He is a doll. I love Jason. He shit himself when he found out you were coming on.
But he wants to
dog.
know. Amusement parks have plenty of treats. Deep-fried Twinkies, sun-baked Twinks, and a whole lot more. When you're at a park, what's your favorite food?
My favorite treat at a soft pretzel. I just think something about like soft pretzels that will do it for me every time. I don't know what it is. It's the saltiness, the softness, the bread. I love carbs. I love bread.
Right.
Yeah, and then if you get the cheese sauce that you can dip it in, even better.
Yes.
Corn dogs. Oh, those are good too. Which also are delicious dipped in country sweet sauce. I don't know. I don't normally go for the sweet stuff like the funnel cakes and what have you, or the Dippin' Dots. I've never had Dippin'.
They're fine.
So, yeah, I don't know.
So are you definitely like a savory over sweet girl then? You prefer them?
Oh yeah, like definitely.
Hands down.
Completely.
Yeah. I didn't go for dessert. I went for seconds on what we had for dinner.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
All the time.
Give me some mac and cheese. Give me some delicious bread.
Oh my gosh.
Yeasty.
Oh, the flavor of yeast. This bitch can bake some bread, okay? This bitch can bake some bread and some.
What, in your crotch? She's got a infection. You might say it's a massengill.
Oh my gosh. As much as I don't want to, I know you have a life outside of us. So we are going to start, closing things out here.
Thank God.
I know. But before we go, we do have a tradition, which we refer to as final thoughts. So we generally go in order, but we'll start with you. After, meeting us strangers and dealing with us weird theme park nerds, what's your final takeaway from your time spent with us?
That you all need to learn how to love yourself and respect your bodies and show me your butthole. What I've learned is that I don't know, that you seem like a lot of fun and a great time to hang out and drink or not drink or whatever you hillbillies do, and shoot things or something, or I don't know, get naked and smoke meth. I don't know, what do y'all do?
That's actually the rest of my day.
Oh, fantastic!
Yay.
Yeah, don't meth it up. So,
write that down. That's a great idea for a future sketch. We do sketches on our show. Write that down.
And then also I've learned that I have a poor network connection.
Well,
you drink a lot.
I drink so much. I'm going to go out drinking more tonight because I'm going to go see some fucking drag queens tonight that I love to death. And I'll just do a quick shout out. And you should look her up because I think you'd like her. She is tragic, but she's amazing. This is Aida Buffet.
I love it.
Yeah, Aita. I'm giving you Buffet, spelled as you'd expect. And she is from Columbia, Missouri. If you look her up, you can find her. She is one of the funniest queens I have ever met, but she just wears nothing but a muumuu. But she is an entertainer and a stand-up comic. She's hilarious. So I just wanted to give her a plug. She doesn't even know, but you'd love her. Everyone should love her. But you are amazing. I just want to thank you for coming on our show. Like, legitimately, we're all full of jokes, but we're just a bunch of fucking nerds. We're not worthy, bitch.
You don't seem as nerdy as I thought you were going to be. Well, maybe, but no, you're not as nerdy.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to us.
Well, trust me, we're the coolest within this world, so that should say something.
To meet one of my favorite queens, and she was disappointing. But no, seriously, Darienne, I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming on here. You have made my day.
You know what? Seriously, Darienne, again, I mean, we've all said thank you, but we mean it. We mean it. I mean, we're just so fucking like poster nerds out here, and you didn't win a reality show. So thank you so much for coming on our show. We had such a blast, and we would love to have you on again. What's really important though is we got to get the fuck out of here, guys. But before we go, people need to know how to get a hold of us. However, before we do that, we want to make sure that you all know where you can go see the wonderful and talented Darienne Lake yourselves.
So if you would like to spend more time with Darienne Lake like I would, and you have money, you can fly on up to Montreal from August 9th to the 19th. She will be performing with other drag superstars at, I can't pronounce the word, but it's a festival in Montreal. I assume just look for giant, massive gay people and you'll be there.
How do you spell that?
It's F-I-E-R-T and then the foreign E that I don't want to talk about that. You can also see Darienne performing with Mrs. Kasha Davis and Pandora Box as part of their Threes Company, as they call it, which is better than the original. August 20th, 21st, 22nd, 27th, 28th, and the 29th at the Pilgrim House, which I don't know where that is, so go find it yourself, you lazy fucks. And if you need more information about Darienne and her upcoming events, please go to her Facebook page. You can also find her on Twitter.
Yes, and that is at Darienne Lake. If you can't spell Lake, hooked on phonics, motherfucker.
It has more followers than the other one. That's how you'll know.
It does. It's actually entertaining. This was so much fun. You know what, guys? I stopped in not because I don't trust you, but because I don't trust you.
Yeah.
That is why. It's why I don't trust you with royalty of any kind.
Yeah, you should.
The Queen of England's coming on. Y'all are on your own there, though. I don't give a fuck.
So when are you going to die?
Seriously, that's all I care about. But anyways, guys, we gotta go. So, but of course, if you all want to follow me, you know me. You can find me on Twitter at RTO Slater. And Jordan, where can they find you?
If you want to see pictures of me deep-throating a popsicle, go to at RTO Muscle Daddy on Twitter. I'm going to go get a popsicle. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go get a popsicle today. And not like a small one, not like one of the little, fucking ones that little kids eat and shit. I'm getting the big-ass rocket pop.
You know what? First RT2 challenge. Let's see. I want a bunch of people to start sending RT2, pictures of them deep-throating a popsicle. Let's see who's better. Muscle Daddy, it's a competition. But you can also, don't forget about the one who abandoned us. You can find Valentine at RTO Valentine. But for those who stick with us, Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me at RTO Delaney, RTODELANEY.
You can find the show Twitter at RT2 Podcast, the number 2, because I know some of you are dumb as fuck, but we love you anyway.
Well, you know what? It's legitimate because your email's confusing, which is Ride This 2 spelled out TWO podcast, or is it podcast? Yeah, podcast at gmail.com.
Well, that's because Slater's not good at giving directions unless it involves his dick.
I didn't even know we had an email, so I might be missing out.
There's one direction with my dick, and that's going down, motherfucker.
What if someone's on top? Giving you the reverse cowboy.
I like me some Brokeback Mountain shit. And of course, guys, you can always call both Ride This One and RT2 because we're sharing. You can reach us at 26 Ride This, which is 267-433-8447. I have memorized that, you bitches. I have said it too many times.
And keep sending those dick pics. Thank you. You know who you are.
Yes,
and
thank
I want to know who you are.
I'm telling you. I just hope he sends a whole pic next because that's what I want. Oh, Jesus. Do you think he has a hairy hole? What do you think? I think he does.
I
think he does.
Do you think it's worse than mine?
Be like, hey, so
I don't know. I haven't seen you.
Oh,
I don't know. But you know what, guys? Thank you so much. It's been lovely. But I guess, what, are we done? Y'all don't really do anything at the end. I mean,
no, we don't do anything.
No, that's it. We're done. See you guys.
Now this is embarrassing.